Good morning, everybody. It's a new month, a new day. What is today? A Monday? Yep, it's an awesome day. I'm here actually parked at work. I'm gonna get ready to go to work like always. But, like I said, it's pretty much that countdown for me now. I'm nervous, honestly, and it's good that I have y'all to talk about this. Don't get me wrong, I got my friends, that I'm like, holy crap, dude, like, it's crazy, it's coming, one-on-one inventory, but it's also good to express myself with everybody in, on social media, right? Why not? Let the world know how you truly feel. And like I said, I'm all about honesty, so it's good to get it out, right? Vent out and get all that ranting and raving. But yeah, today was an interesting morning just now, just because of the fact that, how can I say this to you? I keep saying, I already know what I'm going to say. So, I went to go pick up my mom. I went and took her to work. And here's a funny thing. So I go pick her up, and then I'm like, hey, Ma, you ready? Vámonos. And she was just like, okay, yeah, I'm good. And I was going to go put my stuff in my room, because my brother's in my room for the meantime, right? And he's like, wait, I'm naked. And I'm like, how you, in my head, I'm like, oh, when did you start sleeping naked, right? That's not him, because I know him, he usually sleeps in his boxers. You know your siblings. So I just thought to myself, I'm like, okay, whatever. And the first thing that pops in my head is that he's brought somebody. And my mom's been on his ass about that kind of crap. So I'm just like, okay. And I opened the door, right? I see these little bitty ass shorts, and I'm just like, come on, doggy, like, why would you do that? Like, and I looked at him, and I literally told my brother, hey, so, are these your shorts? And he's like, no. And I'm like, I was like, I'm not stupid. You have somebody there. And then, of course, my mom's reaction is, ¿Quién es? ¿Quién trajo? And I'm like, he must have a girl there, because he just immediately went to the shower. And I was just like, I just told him, dude, just make sure she ain't there when I get home. Like, come on now. Like, have respect. And I just wanted to, for a second, something stopped me, right? Lord forgive me. Something stopped me, and I said, I just wanted to, go ahead and knock on that door and be like, hey, is that you, Jessica? Oh, who is it this time? But I didn't do that. I was just like, I thought it was going to be hilarious. In my head, I'm visualizing him being embarrassed while he's taking a shower with some random girl, right? And I was just like, you know what? I'm just not going to do it. As much as it's going to be hilarious, I didn't do it. So it just made me laugh, because I was just like, why? A little backstory with my brother. He, right now, especially right now, he's just all over the place, okay? And it was coming to females right now, he's just like, yeah. So it literally brought a message today. Just thinking about what he was doing in the room. I was thinking about, the Temptations, right? Everybody knows about Temptations. And my mom actually told me about that. She just she said, hey, she had a dream, and she was letting me know about, like, what's going on. And, once I told her, like, obviously he must have somebody with him because he's in the shower with somebody, and he has, like, these cheetah printed shorts. Yeah, those are not yours, Vicky. That's when she was saying, people fall into this temptation of the world, these worldly things. And it's true. And that, like I said, prayer is a powerful thing to do, to be intimate with the Lord, to have, these conversations. Hi, DeMarcus. I haven't seen you forever. I hope you're doing great. I hope your family is doing fine. Man, I hope you're being safe out there, okay? I see you, so I'm saying hi. Showing much love, showing much appreciation. But yeah, it's crazy. What I was saying was that, like I said, my thing is that I've always, in order to have like a strong relationship is to pray, to get better in what you're doing. And just, prayers become more effective when you start, when you actually keep on practicing. Like everybody says, the more practice you do it, the better it's going to be, And of course, as much as we want it to be perfect, it's never going to be perfect. But you can truly see the power, the actual effect whenever you pray. So, like I was saying, when my mom was talking about how, my brother, he's like, oh, trae, cada vieja. And basically my mom's saying that my brother brings all kinds of women, to the house. First of all, I don't know, how old are you? Yeah. To my brother. You're a 30-year-old man. You have kids and everything else. I don't, I don't discriminate. But the thing is, like, once you're around that age, you especially when you want to do the business, like, why don't you just get an apartment, or move in with the person that you're having relations with, something. But the thing is, my brother, as I see him now that he's been out for a few months now, is that temptation. That temptation just falls, and, you're out here, you're doing this, you're doing that, and sometimes I honestly wish that his brain kind of worked sometimes, because I'm like, Lord, forgive me. You keep telling him, like, stop, don't do this, don't do that. And it doesn't feel like you're talking to a grown man. It feels like you're talking to, like, a little kid. And I'm just like, wow. And, my mom said, he falls into those temptations real quick, with, he's, he works. It's just that, it's disrespectful for bringing a woman or a girl, who, whatever you want to call it, to the house. It's not your house. You're, and then not only that, it's in my room. and then, and he brings women. I try to be, like, chill about it. Hi, Skylar. I don't know if you can hear me, boo-boo. I love you. I hope you're doing well. Keep your head up. But it's crazy because it's so hard to, like, watch your siblings go through this craziness, right? And you're like, no, try to stay focused, try to do this. And that's something about me. I'm the oldest. Then it's my brother. Then it's my sister, Gabby. And my brother, like I said, he's the one that, man, I gotta, like, try to shake him every once in a while and be like, stay in the straight path. Like I said, I don't really have to tell him that much, but he truly falls into the temptation of the flesh. And that's what I wanted to talk about, because I know pretty sure that everybody, including myself, have fallen in that category, you know. And it sucks, because flesh is a beautiful thing, you know. I mean, hi, good morning, Albert, buddy. I see that you be growing that locks, you know. I saw it. So you're looking snazzy over there with your little golden locks. And then, of course, you know, respeto familia. What's up? All of us have fallen into that temptation of the flesh, you know. Are we proud of it? I'm pretty sure not. All of us are not proud of, you know, sleeping around, messing around, you know, having multiple partners at the same time. And here's the thing is that, of course, you know, all of us are human beings. We see the physical outside. We love pretty things, right? Don't bring my hair up. My bad, I saw your pictures. I was like, dang, look at him go. He's a here Rico Suave, but he weto version. Sorry, the sunlight's like there, you know, gleaming, and I can't tell the Lord to stop shining, you know, it's a beautiful day. But like I said, we fall into that temptation, you know. So everything that we see, you know, we're human beings. We see something physical, and the first thing that pops out is the beauty of somebody, right? We think, oh man, he's fine, or man, she's hot, you know, things like that. That's what we usually see first. It's like, you know, ooh, you know, oh no, like I can't do that, you know, ooh, she, you know, we're already judging because of what we see. And then, you know, let's say there's something that we do like, you know, nowadays we are, we're just like, oh man, you know, are we gonna do something tonight? Like, right away. Like, and it's crazy, you know, from the generations of our parents, our grandparents, dude, you ain't gonna hit that until you put a ring on it, right? That was like the thing. That was like what you were supposed to do. You know, you marry a virgin woman, virgin guy, put them together, you know, they did the steps, you know, they went out, they hung out, but nothing like crazy like that. Because at that time, you know, being tempted from the flesh was pretty bad, right? You know, if you really think about it, when we talk about this kind of stuff with our parents or grandparents, if you are that open, they're like, oh no, like, you know, you don't do that. We weren't hitting it on the first night, you know. If you're gonna hit it, you better put a ring on it, right? So it's crazy how we work nowadays, you know. We talk, we feeling each other, and then you find out that, like, in a few hours, kid you not, we're sleeping together. Okay, you know, it went from like a nice little day to like, okay, we dropped them pants, like, and I'm just like, wow. And like I said, I guarantee you, everybody has done that in some point in their life where we've like slept around, you know, whether we had a friends with benefits, what is it, cuddy buddies, whatever, right? Sancho, whatever, side piece, side nugget, you're the fries on the chicken nugget, I don't know. Whatever you were, you were it. And like I said, that today, that's what just kind of like spoke to me, was just the temptation of just pretty much anything, but the most common one is the flesh, because the we're just giving ourselves. And in my mind, I was, just kind of thinking about, just looking at my brother when he was in the shower, I'm pretty sure with some little random girl. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, how does he feel? Like, how do you feel knowing that you're sleeping around or, actively, like, what does that do to you, to your body? Like, of course, I'm not trying to get all up in my brother's business, but I'm like, thinking to myself, like, do you feel good knowing that you're giving yourself away, like, freely, like, every time with a different girl? Like, does that make you feel good? Like, do you get some overall some satisfaction? Do you fully feel satisfied that you're giving yourself little by little to, like, a lot of people? And, for me, when I get answered or questioned that, I answer no, because for me, it's just, it gets boring. It's so unsatisfying after that. So I'm just like, dang, because like I said, hi Adam, good morning. Tell Sam I said hi if you're with her. But it gets so unsatisfying. So this is the thing, is that, like, we come to the point where we're exploring, we're learning from each other, we're feeling somebody, and then, you necessarily don't do the whole, like, 9 yards where you're, like, in a relationship with somebody, but you're just kind of, like, doing everything without the title, like they say, friends with benefits, side piece, whatever you want to call it. And let's say y'all both are, like, pretty much open that, y'all are going to fool around with other people. But, like I said, because I've been through that at one point, okay? Like I said, if we're going to be honest with each other, we're going to be giving each other raw truth, is that I've been through that. And it got to the point where, like, when I would finish having, like, sex with somebody or whatever, like, I felt good, I felt all right. Hi, Ben. What's up, buddy? I haven't seen you in forever. I hope you and your little family are doing awesome. I remember when I got into that phase, when I definitely got tempted into the temptations of the flesh, it was satisfying on the beginning, right? And good morning, June. Good morning, Robert. It was satisfying in the beginning, but the satisfaction didn't last that long, and it's just like you go for it, you get all this excitement, this craziness, because sex is a beautiful thing, but, when you're just giving it to different people, I've noticed from my experience, it's no longer fun. And it sucks because it's not special. That's what I realize, is that it doesn't make it special because, love is better than sex, right? Sorry, Trey, but it is true though, because, you're trying to, feed not only obviously your soul, your spirit, but, like, physically, you want it to, keep going, to feel that satisfaction, but it doesn't it doesn't have the same effects when you're in love with somebody and when you're just kind of, like, fooling around with somebody, right? It's not the same, unless your goal is to try to get your side piece or whatever to be your main. And see, it just, like I said, me thinking about like what I've done, I'm just like, no, yeah, sex was great, but like, you didn't have the qualities that I needed for like as a partner. And that's what I'm saying is that, like, especially watching my brother do this kind of stuff, it reminds me a little bit of myself, where I'm just like, dude, like, hi, Michael. That I'm like, dude, I could never be fully satisfied because I was just kind of giving myself away to, a few people. Here you go, here you go, here's some booty, here's some booty, here's some booty. And then when I get home, I'm exhausted, I'm like, ugh, like, I don't feel like, I don't feel the love, I started to be, starving for love. And when I was trying to find it, and if somebody would say, hey girl, what's up, try to, make moves, I'll be like, sure, why not? We slept together, and then that was that. And then I'm like, okay, that was fun, but now I'm like not satisfied. And that's what I'm saying is that we all have some weakness, and most of us, it's the temptation of flesh, because it's like the easiest thing to do is that, hey, what's up? You just speak sweet nothings, talk a little here and there, and then you're just like, all right, let's get it. Let's get it in. And then when you get it in, it doesn't mean anything. It's just booty, and I'm just like, great. And you know what the more suckier part is? Like, this is the suckier part. I say suckier because it's bad. So, like I said, if we're going to be talking about experiences and truth. So, I've had people where, like, I've messed around. I've done my deed or whatever. And then, for me, it is what it is, right? I'm just like, it's just going to be booty for me. But the other person was like, they're trying to develop something with you. And I'm like, ooh, that's not going to work for me. Sorry. And you know what I'm saying? They're trying to go somewhere with you, but you're not. You just kind of declared it as a booty call or whatever you want to do it. And then that was it. So, and see, for me, on my behalf, I did it because I was tempted on the flesh, Hey, he's fine, yeah, sure, I'll give him I'm going to get mines, and I guess I'll give him his. But see, I wasn't thinking about, like, ooh, what am I doing to him? Like, is it just going to be a one-time thing? All I thought about was just me. And, he's over here thinking, like, man, like, I'm gonna put it down so she don't have to look elsewhere. And in reality, I'm over here thinking, like, it's just a booty call. That's it. Hi, Eric. So yeah, that's what it's just, it makes me laugh just to kind of look at my brother and reflect on what I've done before too. Like I said, I got nothing against on my brother. It's just that there will be a time, there will be an age where you just like, you have to let that stuff go. And when I decided to let that go, it was like before, I think, Gabriel, the father of my son, when I was just kind of having fun. And me personally, I've always been a person of relationships. So before Gabriel, I had another previous relationship that was like 7 years, 8 years. Yeah. And I thought I was going to marry the guy. Then, of course, I got with Gabriel. We were together for about 4. And then, of course, we split up our ways. So here's another thing, too, about that. As a grown person, as a person that knows their faults, why I wanted to talk about temptations as well is because, look, so like my last relationship with Gabriel, I fell into temptation. I'm the one who did the cheating. And, I'm not proud of that or anything else. But this is the example that I'm talking about. I will talk about, that specific, cheating subject on a later time. But what I want to talk about is that specific temptation. I fell into the temptation of the person that, I did the cheating, right? And that's the thing is, you can't take that back. And like I said, when I did what I did, I was all right, I felt all right, but I didn't get the satisfaction still. It's like not only did I lose myself, but I lost control of other parts of me. And like I said, you're not going to get that satisfaction if you don't learn how to control your temptations. Because it is possible, It is possible. And it just takes work. It just takes work. So, one thing that came out when I was, like I said, thinking about this, there's a verse that says, "No temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind. And God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, He will also provide a way out so that you can endure it." So, and that's 1 Corinthians 10, verse 13. And I was just like, dude, that's some powerful stuff to think about that. Because you can do it, but you can't do it by yourself. You need help. And it blows my mind that you will always need help for something and for anything. Whether, you being, you being a womanizer, you being you being a drug dealer, you being a whatever. If you're truly trying to kick something out of the curb, something that tempts you, not just the flesh, but, just anything, you can only do so much. But like I said, it says, when you are tempted, He will also provide a way out so you can endure it. So God will give you a path to take, a choice for you to get out and kind of kick that in the curb. Did we say it was going to be easy? No, I'm guarantee you it's not going to be easy, especially when it comes to temptations. If it's a habit that you have done such a long time, whether you've been sleeping around for such a long time, maybe you've been using this type of drug for a long time, is it easy to wake up in the morning and be like, sure, I'm going to get rid of that? No, it's not, because you're so adjusted to doing that, you're accustomed to doing that it becomes what they say, habit forming. And then after that, whenever you try to, go cold turkey, sometimes it doesn't go your way. And what you need to realize is that you will need help. You will need the essential tools to get you where you need to be. And that's where He comes in. That's where your friends come in. That's where your counselor, whoever you seek guidance from, advice, they're the ones that trigger that little guinea pig in there, up here. They trigger it and they make you think. Do we always listen? No, we don't. Because you know what we do? Well, I guess I'll stop next week. Let me sleep around with 3 more people. Or let me, smoke a few times here and there. Before I go to cold turkey. So everything takes work. And it's crazy because, it says no temptation has overtaken you except for what is common to mankind. So whatever is known to you, it's gonna get you if you let it, because you already know what it is. You know what gets you going. And that's why we have to pray. We have to pray for one another, for yourself, and definitely seek that help when you need it. And it's a beautiful thing The obstacle is freaking hard, but you can do it. Especially, like I said, like me, once I stop, fooling around. For me, my weakness was the flesh, for real. Like, I just, I'll have I wouldn't say like a one night stand. I would like sleep with somebody that I was like familiar with, and then that was that. And then I'll be like, okay, I'm good. And like I said, was I satisfied like the next day? Like, was I all about that person? No, I wasn't. I just used them because of my needs. That stupid crap that you hear on Facebook, or what is it, like memes? Is that how you say it? Oh, I'm a woman, I have needs. I'm a man, I have needs. Or this whole, what's another one that I hear? Oh, it's not my fault, she just threw herself on me, or it's not my fault, he wanted it, I know how to write it well. And that's the thing, it's like, no. You could have stopped the situation if you really wanted to. You didn't just give it to them. You just gave it to them because you fell for the temptation. There you go. That's the situation is like, you did it because you fell for the temptation. Not because you wanted it, not because you wanted it, the guy wanted it, right? You did it because you wanted to. And you fell for it. You fell for the temptation. You fell what was weak. Someone puts a joint in your face, and you are known to like smoke, I don't know, every weekend or whatever. And let's say like one day you just decide not to smoke, and somebody's like, hey dog, puff, repass. No, Stephanie, no, I didn't want to do it, but they put it in my face, so I did it. I had no choice. You had a choice. You just chose not to do it. There you go. You fell into the temptation. And like I said, it is hard to talk about these kind of things because some people are like, nah, I'm strong, I'm keep it 100. Okay, let's keep it 100 then. You fall, you fall into those traps, especially the traps that know you. And like Matthew 26:41 says, watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Exactly what I was saying is that we have the strength inside within ourselves to stop it. But do we choose to stop it? That's the question. Do we really do it? Because we have it, right? We have what it takes for us to stop ourselves from doing something that we don't want to do, but we do it anyway. And do you feel good about it after you do it? Not really. Maybe you feel kind of like, I shouldn't have slept with that person. I shouldn't have drank. Or I shouldn't have smoked. Or I shouldn't have done this and that. So we definitely have it within ourselves to stop that temptation, but sometimes we just choose not to. So I want you to, let that simmer in your heads today, when you think about temptations. Like, have you put in work to stop yourself from kicking old habits out? Or do you just kind of still do them? Do you even ask for help? If not, I would suggest to start praying. I will pray for you that whatever temptation you have, that we can kick it out of the curb. Like I said, prayer is a powerful thing. Both of those verses basically said the same thing, that we gotta pray and watch, this work unfold. And how they say, beauty and pain kind of goes along with it. That's the same thing for us, When it comes to trying to kick out the temptation, do you think it's going to hurt us? Yeah, it's going to hurt because we're trying to kick that temptation out of us. That when you get that cold turkey moment or that phase, whatever, we're freaking dying. We're dying because we're like, crap, man. Like, I wish I can go get one other joint or one more booty call. It's so hard to kick that stuff. The stuff that makes you weak. is so hard to kick out of. And like I said, not just for me for the flesh, but for me was for like the drugs that I used to do when I was in foster care. I've done a lot of like antidepressants and like stuff to kind of keep me focused. And the stuff that I was taking was it was speed. It was speed. And I didn't know until my mom hired these like investigators from the Capitol. Like, it was crazy. She went all out. What besides, being weak in the flesh, the previous that I've had was I was weak in the drugs, which was most specifically was pills, medication. And it, till this day, it's sad to say that I don't remember half of the stuff, like some stuff that like, that my mom tells me. I'm like, I don't remember. And, it wasn't by choice, like I wanted to take this stuff, right? But, when you're in foster care, from my understanding is that everybody that enters the system, you got to be medicated, because they think like, if one person, like me, from sexual abuse, obviously I got traumatized, PTSD, whatever. Obviously I need to get medicated, but my brother and sister went there too, but they got medicated too, even though they didn't like get, abused or anything, but they figured like, nah, like they were there, so on and so forth, so we got to medicate them too, just in case. So that's like their thing. I don't know if they still do that, but like I said, my hardest habit, actually I was talking to my mom too, about like 2 weeks ago, that, as I think about the stuff that I had to kick, it was really, really hard. That for me, taking speed from the age of 10 till the age of like, what do I want to say? 10 from like 16, 17, that's a long time. From 10 years old to like 16, that's like 6 years doing some pretty good damage. And like I said, with the subject, once my doctor cut me off, I was like, no, there's no way. I can't function without my drugs. I can't function in this world without taking that medication. That's how they knew, my family knew, she's in terrible shape. Like, why is she like this? Why is she freaking out? And that's because I was so just consumed by the drugs. I mean, and this has been a long time, right? From 10 to 16. And then you have the doctor telling you, hey, you know what? 70, you're better. You're no longer sadder or, not focused or anything. You can function without your medication. No. In my head, I was like, there's no way. Like, you're taking something out of me that you told me I needed, and now you're telling me I don't need it. So that's the crazy part, was that was one of the hardest, another temptation of mine that it was so hard for me to get rid of, because I fell into just in the world of being consumed by medication, by drugs. And that's another thing, like I said, temptation is different kinds of things, whether it's the flesh, whether it's, smoking or whatever, drugs, that goes hand in hand with, such thing as addiction. So let me give y'all some truth. The ones that are listening out there, that are watching right now. When I found out that I had this addiction, that I fell into the hands of, medication and all that stuff. I just got back from like Lockhart or whatever, and they told me that, right? They said that you would be fine, that you don't need it anymore. I remember feeling so confused, so like, why? Like, why would you do this to me? That The next day, went to school and everything. I already took some. I took some medication. And I had them hidden because my mom can't reach into like this cabinet in the kitchen. So I hid them, and I would wake up extra early to go ahead and do that. But it was only once a day. I was taking it like twice, 3 times, whatever. However I felt. Usually it was just twice. And when I would feel like sad or depressed, I would go ahead and take them, right? And one day, I wasn't feeling too well. I got out of school, whatever. I just felt like, I was having a crappy day. I went to the kitchen and I went ahead and grabbed some of my pills. Of course, I'm not paying attention. I'm like trying to be sneaky. My brother's the one that catches me. And he was actually there for the appointment when they said, you don't need to take these anymore. And I'm like, grabbing like 2 of each. Well, one I took like a pill and a half. So that one I took like 2 pills and a half, and then the other one I took like 2, I took 2 whole ones, right? And Ricky sees me and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I freaked out. So I was just like, "Nothing." And I already had them in my mouth. And he's like, you don't need those pills. You don't need that anymore. That doctor said that you're fine. And I threw a fit because I was like, well, how does he know that I don't need them? Like, who is he to tell me that I don't need them? I was just like, I can't function in this world. I need to be happy. I need to concentrate. So these pills are my life. That's what I thought, and that's what I said. I said, these pills are my life. The next thing I know is Ricky goes and tells Ma, and like, I'm trying to take, I already took some. And man, y'all should have seen me. I was so weak. Like at that time, like I said, that's how I can tell you that I was so weak in that temptation was on those pills. It makes me just kind of teary-eyed just thinking about it because it's like, wow, like that was a lot. He sees me and then he tells my mom. They both come running to the kitchen and he grabs them. He grabs, and what I thought in my mind, my life support, these 2 freaking big ass bottles, right? They're like this. And it was like thick too. He chunks them outside. I'm living in Lockhart and he chunks them outside. And I'm just like, what the hell? Like, I was just like, not just devastated, I was furious because he threw my life outside the house. Like, he threw my pills in the dirt and everything. Like, he was like, you don't need these. I was crying my eyeballs out. Guys, I'm gonna tell you right now. Oh, man. I'm just getting chills just thinking about this. Y'all wouldn't believe what I did next. I got mad. And I was crying so much. This is the part that I want you to just kind of visualize for a second. For the ones especially that know me and have an idea, like, who I am. I was so devastated, so weak, because those pills were my life. I went outside And I got on my hands and knees with dirt and everything. I grabbed as much pills that I could take and I stuffed them in my mouth. Good morning, Veronica. How you doing, love? Can you visualize that for a second? I am like, at this time, let's see, when did I get out of foster care? So around like I said, like around 14, 15. This teenager outside the house, crying her eyeballs out because these pills are her life. Somebody chunks them outside on the dirt, on a dirty cement floor. And all I can think about was that this is my life. This is the way I'm supposed to function. And I went ahead on my hands and knees, grabbed a whole handful of those pills and just stuffed them. Dirt, rocks, whatever. I stuffed them in my mouth. Trying to swallow all that in one go without any water. Like I said, if they're going to take my life away, then I'm going to take as much as I can so I can function. My brother freaking hits me in the back of my neck and I throw him out. Like, I gagged and spit him out. Kid you not, I tried to do it again. Like, I didn't care that I spit them out. Whew, man, that is some craziness, but that is some truth. I want you to realize the depth of how far these temptations can take you, to the point where like you feel like you're lost, like you're too far gone. And I felt like that was one of the things that put me there, because my mom was like, you need help. And I didn't realize I had an addiction to these things. And then when she told me, she told me in Spanish, te vas a ir a la iglesia o te ponemos en una rehab or something, either church or rehab. And I didn't want to go to rehab and be known as a druggie, especially when I had dreams of being like some part of like law enforcement. That's what I've always wanted to do. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, damn, man, like, what am I supposed to do now? Like, my pills, how am I supposed to function? How am I supposed to get over the fact that I can't just, get rid of them in one day? And like I said, I didn't want to go to rehab. I couldn't put my name to shame like that. Like, I didn't want people to know that I'm a freaking druggie. And I was just like, what to do now? And I kid you not, when my mom decided, I told my mom what I wanted to do. I said, fine, I'll go to church. I still found ways to do pills. I moved to San Marcos around 2004. So, as in a good phase, I was like, oh, I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to, change my ways. And then out of nowhere, I had a relapse. And I was just like, okay, now the pills aren't working for me. Not like they used to. I had to find another way to get myself going. And I was like, well, let's see what I can experiment with. So from here, when I was living in San Marcos, from 9th grade till senior year, almost, I realized, like I said, pills weren't like, hold on. Pills weren't like helping me just out to kind of knock it out. I started experiment with over-the-counter pills with NyQuil. And man, I fell into that temptation again, and my mom was realizing that the NyQuil was disappearing. And I was like, I told her, I don't know what's going on. So what I was doing was, I would take like 2-3 pills of like Tylenol, Advil, whatever I can get my hands on, and drink like a, like that regular or recommended dose of NyQuil. Then I realized that little by little, it didn't give me the same effect. So I needed to take more so I can go to sleep faster. That's what I was doing, is that when I was crying and I was angry, when I was shouting, basically I just didn't want to hear anything anymore. I would up the dose, and then I realized, okay, so that's how I was doing it. I went ahead on my old habits, and then I started, taking more pills, more stuff to, and NyQuil, mix it together so I can like go to sleep, so I don't have to like hear anything. And one day, me and my brother got in a real big fight. It makes me sad thinking that I was like this, but it's an experience. It's a lesson to learn. I got in a real bad fight with him that I decided to take a few more pills, and I just drank the rest of the NyQuil. And I was in high school at that time. I was a senior. What happened was that I took the stuff, and I knocked out for 16 hours. I had counseling, and with a smile on my face, I tell this counselor, yeah, I took pills. And I got in a big fight, so I took some pills again, and I drank the rest of the NyQuil. And I was out for about like 16 hours or so, or more. She looked at me with her expression I'll never forget. She was in shock. And she said, you could have died. You know that, right? Like, she's like, it's amazing that you're alive right now. I laughed. And I was thinking, oh, yeah? Well, in my mind I was thinking, well, let's see what else I can do. But I was just like, wow. Like, I was being such a fool. A freaking goon, man. A freaking goon. But to know, especially now with everything that I've done, like that verse that says that he will find a way for you, a way out so you can endure it. And that's what he did. He didn't let me die, He found a way. My soul could be crying out for help, knowingly that I have the inner strength, but my brain, my body, physically, everything else, the flesh was weak and that he let me have another day of life, like, dude, blows my mind. Hi, Ian. I didn't even realize you would be. I thought you should be working. Stop slacking. But to have another day of life, I'm just like, dude, this is awesome. And it's beautiful, you know? Like I said, am I proud that I did this? Oh man, you know, I'm straight up G. I'm 100. No. I'm not saying, I'm not proud. I'm not proud for the things that I've done, you know, especially when it comes to the temptation. You know, people, especially that have known me, especially right now, currently, right? Presently, whatever you want to say. People that have known me from like before I met the Lord to like now, they just know me as this like strong person, this person that's never like, you know, like, man, she's gun-ho, like, you know, she does this, she does that, she's on a roll, and, you know, she doesn't show any weakness. And that's the thing, is that some of them didn't see me at my weakest point. Now, I mean, I don't want you to, you know, I'm glad y'all didn't. But, you know, it was a thing that I had to go through in order to, like, you know, hey, get shit done. Oh, man, it's crazy. It's crazy how my journey with pills, my journey with the flesh, it has been a battle, but I have overcome. I mean, I literally thank Jesus, of course, but also the people that were there to believe in me. Like my mom, like my brother, my sister, my friends, the ones that knew about it. I kept it pretty hush-hush, but, you know, the ones that really, truly knew at that time, look at me now. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't been able to kick that addiction, because holy crap, like from 10 to 16 or 18, whatever, you know, that's a long time. And if I can kick that, it took work, but I kicked. It took some few step backs, but I still did it. You see that? A few step backs, a few bumps in the road, a few like picking up yourself up again and starting all over, starting from square one. I did all that. Did I succeed on my first try? No, I didn't. But did I overcome it? Did I do it? Did I push myself to get towards the end, to get this out of my system, to get it out of not only for my physical self, but my spiritual self? Yes, I did. And it was hard, and it was worth it. And all I can say is thank you for the people that have been there for me, that helped me through it, to tell me that I can make it. It horrible path of trying to, you know, get yourself kicking some type of addiction. Anything is going to take work. Anything is going to be painful for you to get it out of your system. But as long as you believe in yourself and you push through and know that, like it says here, God has a way for you to find a way out, because he's going to show you a way out, then take it. Do it, because what else do you have for yourself? Don't waste your life on an addiction that you feel like it's just consuming you, and you feel like, oh no, well, I can't do it. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can do it. Oh man, I could keep going and going about this. But I want y'all to think about that. Think about these verses. So for sure, like I said, 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13. Think about that one. And the other one that I said, of course, Matthew 26, verse 41. I want y'all to think about that today. Think about the stuff that you've done. Think about the things that you're still doing and you're not kicking out the curb, that you know that are not good for you, but you're still doing it. Like, do you want to get rid of that? Do you want to get yourself, be a better person? Because like I said, when you decide to, put your foot down and say, you know what, I am going to do this. I'm going to kick this out of the curb, it will take work. And also, if you feel like, if you just keep it to yourself, sometimes you will fail because you don't have somebody to motivate you to keep you in line. And sometimes we do need that. But that's, like I said, that is the topic of the day, temptation. I want y'all to know that I want you to know that whatever you're going through right now, if it is a temptation, it is an addiction, you can get it out of you. But you need help. And it is about the spirit. Majority is your spirit. And your spirit is strong, so you can do it. But you need also help. You have to ask for help, especially from the Lord and from your friends and, anybody that can help you get through it. So with that being said, I'm over here chilling. My manager waiting inside. It looked like one of my cashiers. It looks like she's off because she wasn't dressed. And then I have like my girl Roxanne, here. So let's wrap it up real quick. Thank you so much for being here this morning. If you're driving, don't close your eyes. If you're Cadillacing, please close your eyes. So with that being said, let's round it up with a prayer for the day. So dear Jesus, oh Lord, thank you so much. I'm just smiling because I'm like, man, I feel so good about myself. And just, sharing that with y'all, that's my testimony, like Ian said. So, Heavenly Father, thank you for this day, my Lord. Man, you are truly a wonderful God because, first of all, you're here with us. You've given us another day of life, another day of us to see our children, our loved ones, our friends, and us, everybody that is here with us, my Lord. I'm still praying, my Lord. We're all still praying for Miss Veronica Hernandez, that everything goes through and that she doesn't, have to wait that long, that the surgery is going to go well, that there's not going to be no pain, nothing of that nature. My Lord, I also pray for another Miss Hernandez that she's having back problems. Please, my Lord, if anything, I pray for her and her surgery to go well, and that she doesn't have any pain or any of that sort of nature, my Lord, because you said that whatever we ask, we shall receive. I just pray, my Lord, that you guide us into the right direction. For my girl, Roxanne, I still praying for her and her family. Her mother passed away. Keep her in our thoughts and our minds, my Lord. Definitely for everybody that doesn't know, Miss Roxanne, she has a donation program thing for her to raise funds for her mom's funeral. So please, my Lord, if anything, I ask you to multiply those finances so she can do that proper burial, my Lord. For Mr. Brandon Van Zant, keep praying on the faith and health, my Lord. On that, give him strength, not just him, but his family as well. And in health, my Lord, please, whatever is wrong with them, I pray that you heal them and rebuke the sickness that is spreading around, my Lord. Who else? Ed's daughter, I pray for her, my Lord. I pray that she's still making progress. I've heard already that she is making progress. So let's continue to pray for that child, my Lord. You said children are a blessing. So I pray, my Lord, that you keep on blessing that little child and that you just bless her with a tremendous of just strength, my Lord, and health, that she's going to be fine, my Lord, that there's nothing wrong with her. And of course, my friend Michelle, I pray that, with her and her little girls, that she's doing fine, that she'll find a way, that she'll keep working, that she'll find strength for her not to give up. And of course, I pray for everybody else that does need prayer, my Lord. I pray for them as well. Our friends, our family, our loved ones, our strangers, and even the enemies, my Lord, that do us wrong. I pray for them, because not only do I love my loved ones, I love my enemies as well, my Lord. So I just want you to know that we're spreading the love. I pray that everybody gets guidance from you, my Lord. And I know that you will never leave us alone, because guess what? You're here. We may not see you, but we can feel you, my Lord, and we feel your presence. Thank you so much for bringing us together today, this morning. I pray that all of us have a good day of work. It's Monday, and let's do, what we got to do, my Lord. Thank you so much. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. So thank you so much. Like I said, another day, another dollar, another day in paradise, right? Y'all stay safe. If anybody hasn't told you yet, I love you. I care about you. I believe in you. And like I said, don't be scared. Message me. Tell me what you need to, what we need to pray for, so we can make this happen, right? Prayers equals results. So thank you so much, loves. I love y'all. And let's get this day started, right?